Hello, everybody. How you doing? You're welcome to the channel. My name is Ugamadi. So, let's talk about Nigerian football. Talking about the AFCON, the friendly match that was played. Um, Egypt beating Nigeria by 2-1, and there's certain odd things about that game that we have to talk about. First off, we have to talk about Eric Chelle. We have to talk about the officials, the officiating. How come this shows you the problem with NFF, right? How are you having Egyptian referees officiate the game, a game between Nigeria and Egypt? How does that happen, right? How does that happen? How does that happen? How do you let that happen? How do you let that happen? But anyways, that gets to tell you that this friendly game was solely organized by, you know, um, the Egyptian FA and had nothing to do with the NFF. So the NFF just basically tagged along so they could say, oh, we put together a game between, Egypt and Nigeria, pre-tournament friendly, pre-AFCON friendly, which they didn't, because the referee was awful. It was almost like me officiating a game, maybe Nigeria, Portugal, Nigeria, Senegal. So you could imagine what would happen. Maybe I'll just be there admiring Victor Osimhen, and you breathe in his direction and I blow against you and give a yellow card against you. So that was essentially what was happening in that game. The referee was god awful. I just hope for whatever reason he doesn't get to officiate any game that Nigeria plays, especially if you're playing an Egyptian side. But overall, lost 2-1. And I must talk about something about that game, right? People say it's a friendly match. Yes, I agree. I also admit it's a friendly match, obviously. It's a game for you to test out, your players, see the new boys like Tochukwu Nadi, Salim Fago that came on later on in the second half, your Ebenezer King, Simiro, and all those players, right? It's a good game for you to test out all those things. But Eric Chelle, he's done this a couple of times, and even in games that had more serious import, that were more significant games, like he did it in the final, the African regional final for the Intercontinental FIFA playoff for the World Cup. He did it, right? He went on, came with this 4-3-3, had a midfield of non-creative people in terms of Ndidi, Frank Onyeka, of course, very good defensive midfielder. They call him the tank. He can go box to box. He's now getting a sense of goal scoring in him, so that's good to see. But overall, he's not that the creative person you want in that midfield. You have Ndidi in that midfield, who wasn't creative as well. And then Iwobi, we know what Iwobi will give you. He's decent, but he's not that great in my opinion. That's just my humble opinion. And that's what Eric Chelle went for in that final. And then coming to this game, look at what he's done. Yeah, somebody in a post I made, someone responded to it and said, "Oh, they played your boy." Yes, they played my boy, Ebenezer King Simiro. I'm not going to say he's not my boy. He's my boy. I like the way he plays. I love what he can bring to the team, right? And don't get me wrong, if he doesn't play well, I'll be the first person to criticize him on here, because we keep it 110% on this channel, right? If you play well, we're going to say you play well. If you don't play well, we're going to say you don't play well, because that's what I will bring to this channel. Yeah. But he was played out of position, and there are other players, but I'll get to them as well. Why are you playing Ebenezer King Simiro out of position? Like, what do you gain? Like, at what point in a game would having Ebenezer King Simiro out of position benefit you? Because people say, oh, it's a friendly game. He wants to try out players. He wants to play them in different spots, different positions. And he wants to try out different tactical setup and things like that. Fine, different tactical setup, I agree. But at what point in a game, maybe you're playing Egypt in the semi-final, or you're playing Algeria in quarter-final, or in the opening game, you're playing Tunisia or Tanzania or Uganda. At what point in those games would you need to say, I'm going to play Chizere Juke as a second striker? And one of the things I say, one of the challenges with coaching a national team is you don't have your players for that long. Maybe you have them for like a week or two. And then even when you have them for tournaments like the AFCON, like we're approaching, 3 or 4 days to go, right? You have them for about 2 months, but within those 2 months, they're playing every other day, so you don't have that much time to, instill some new philosophy into them. Fair play. I have some suggestions on how that can be tackled, with having a special Super Eagles app where you can send training materials to your players that they can watch for 30 minutes or 40 minutes during their spare time in a week. That could help them get to understand what you want to do. But as a general rule of thumb, your players, you don't have them for that long. That's the challenge being a national team coach, as opposed to being a coach for a club, right? You have the players for long stints, 6 months, thereabout, and then even when they go for their international break, they come back to you. When they go for their 1 month maybe break after the window is closed, after the season is ended, they come back to you. Fair play, right? But one thing that can make your job easier as a national team coach, as Eric Chelle, one thing that can make your job easier is look at how the players play for their club sides, right? Look at how they perform. Look at the positions they occupy. Look at how Ebenezer Akinsimiro plays for Pisa. Look at the role he plays. Look at how he plays for Sampdoria, right? Look at how Chidera Duque plays. I'm sure you've seen that video of the skill, the dribbling of Chidera Duque. Now, ask yourself, how has he performed? How does he perform well for Sevilla? Samuel Chukwueze is coming to great form, right? For Fulham. How come he's in such a great form for Fulham? How does Marco Silva use him? Okay, he plays him on the left wing now, so he just has in his head, I have to be more for the team. I have to play cross into the box for my striker. Jimenez in Fulham, and then Victor Osimhen in Nigeria Super Eagles. Simple. You see how they play for their clubs? You take that and say, okay, I'll put you in the best position to play your best. Ebenezer Akinsimiro is not a 10. He's not a 10. I think someone in the chat said this. Ebenezer Akinsimiro is not a 10. So top marks to the United fan. He says Akinsimiro is not a 10. Chelle is looking like a clown with his tactical decisions. Yeah, I think that is looking a bit dodgy for me. So what he says again, he says playing Dele Bashiru behind Akinsimiro in midfield when Dele Bashiru is a better goal threat and more of a threat with his runs behind, shocking decision making from Eric Chelle. Now, fair points, United fan, top points that you've made. So let's talk about this, right? Let's talk about it. Ebenezer Akinsimiro is a deep line playmaker. He is a 6. Now, people might say, Ebenezer Akinsimiro, you say he's creative. So does it matter where he creates from? Some would ask the question. Of course it matters. You could have a very creative winger. Doesn't mean it should be a 10. Because the way he would create will be different. And the opposition that the winger comes up against is different from what a 10 comes up against. Usually a winger comes up 1v1 as a fullback. Or sometimes you have a central midfielder pairing up with the fullback to double up on the winger to deny him space. So it's a different thing. If you're a 10, you're faced up against defensive midfielders, you're faced up against centre backs. So it's a different thing altogether. So playing in that deep line playmaker role is different because you can sit there, you can see the whole pitch. You can see your wingers making the runs. You can see, your 10 trying to make support. From there you can see your number 9 making the runs. You can see your fullback making the runs from deep into the opponent's half, and then you can control play. That is what Ebenezer Akinsimiro is, a controller general. We had Mikel. Then we had Olise. Then we had Mikel. Then now we have Ebenezer Akinsimiro. So, Eric Chelle, please, you've got to stop this. You have to stop it. You have to stop it. Stop playing players out of position. Now we're having ourselves with this whole Congo, Nigeria, writing a complaint to FIFA about ineligible players used by DRC Congo and other stuff. But Eric Chelle, in that game, you cost Nigeria with your selection. In the game versus South Africa, you cost Nigeria as well. We'll blame NFF. We'll blame the player for their performance. But we'll also have to hold Eric Chelle accountable. That South Africa game, he cost us. Tulu Arokodare was on form. He benched him. He played Cyril Dessers in attack. When he's not that athletic and we don't have that creative team behind him, you took Uche Crisantos, dumped him on the bench. Rafa Onyedika dumped on the bench and decided to go with Iwobi and Ndidi, even if they had played almost 95 minutes the previous game versus Rwanda, and we also they were struggling. You play them in the next game. So we've come to this game as well. You've played in this game, and you've played players out of position for no reason. There's no reason you can give me. You brought in Salim Fago, a striker. You play him as a winger. So how can we judge a player? The way I judge players is this. I don't know if that's how you judge players, right? Play a player in his rightful position. If he doesn't perform, you can say, oh, well, I played you there. You're a right back. I played as a right back, but your winger tore you up. Your winger ripped you apart time and time again, getting past you, dribbling you. I can judge you. But if I take a right back, play him as a centre back, and he struggles, can I really judge him whether he's good enough when I'm playing him out of position? So it's the same thing. Ebenezer Kinsimiro looked slightly lost in that game. He tried a bit. He had one or two good moves, but that is not the vintage Ebenezer Kinsimiro I've watched time and time again. Let him sit in that sixth position. Let him be there and help control play. I know right now that the favorites in DD will be probably they're going to start again. They're going to start. Play Ebenezer Kinsimiro where he's meant to play. Don't play Chidari Juke as a second striker. When did that ever become a thing? Chidari Juke, second striker. How? All the clubs he's played for, he's never played as a second striker. So why you play him as a second striker? You know his favored position, winger. We've all seen the video where he's turned Real Oviedo's defenders inside out. Where did he do that from? Wing. The left wing. So it has to stop. Except Eric Chelle is upset that he's being owed 2 months' salary and he wants to sabotage the team. Except that. But if you really, 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 really want this team to perform to its utmost, then you have to play players in their rightful position. First off, we already have a team that is poorly constructed in certain areas. Like for me, personal preference, Rafiu Dudushimi should be in this team ahead of Salim Fago. Philippe Otele should be in this team, but they're not here. The team is already poorly put together. I would have loved to see, Uche Crisantos in this midfield, but he is not there. He is not there. So you already have one hand tied behind yourself. Don't complicate it any further by playing players out of position. It doesn't make any sense. For me, that's my philosophy on football, right? Even talking about Chelsea or other teams, I look at coach and say, you're having a fullback play midfield. How does that make you feel great about yourself? What can a fullback do in midfield that an actual midfielder cannot do? If you're looking for a 10, that is why I've been calling for Ethan Nwaneri and Francis Onyeka. They are actual 10s. They are actual 10s. If you know you cannot play your game without having a 10, then go and get these guys. And then look at the midfield. When I was talking about business, I said if we play this 4-2-2-2 formation, you have him alongside Onyedika or him alongside Uche Crisantos. They would give you that threat in that midfield because he will be able to give those sharp through passes from midfield straight to Victor Osimhen. But if you say, no, we are not going to do that, now I must play 4-3-3. Now I must play guys out of position. It doesn't make any sense to me. For me, I think it's hipster coaching. It's just hipster coaching because it's just fueling the ego of coaches. Like, oh, look at what I did. He's a defensive midfielder. You know what? I decided to play him as a 10. Oh, yeah. That is absolute stupidity. If you want to win games, look at the best coaches in the world historically. Look at them. Ancelotti, Ferguson, and the rest. They just sit down, pick the best players. Look at Real Madrid when Ancelotti was their coach. Pick the best players. Ronaldo, you play here. You and Vini Jr., you play on the left, play here, and you watch. Wear his black coat and watch. And then if any issues come up, he would now tweak it, make changes. So the best coaches in the world, they play players in their rightful positions. So I don't know what you think about it, let me know. So United fan in the chat says Onyedika and Akinsimiro is the way to go in order to dominate possession, but you just know this clown coach will play in Didi and it will be midfield again. Yeah, that's what I expect. And for me, the thing is this: many times I say this on this channel. Do not just believe what I say. Watch the game. Watch the game. Watch the game honestly. Watch Iwobi. Watch Ndidi in midfield. Watch them. And tell me that they help us control midfield. Tell me that they help control midfield. Okay. I'll drop the link to join the call in the WhatsApp group, and then you can click on it and join. Yeah, in a second I'll do that. In a minute I'll do that. So watch them and tell me that they help Nigeria control midfield. Tell me with all honesty that they create, that they're able to create for the strikers. Nigeria were messing up Victor Osimhen because it's hoof, hoof, hoof. Now you got a guy that can help you control midfield. He's not a 10. If you want a 10, if you want to play a system that would use a 10, why not go look for Itemwaneri, Francis Onyeka, or look for other players that are actual 10s that can play in that role? Look for actual 10s. Look for actual 10s that can play in that role. So I'll just share this. I'll share this. So if you want to join the WhatsApp group, you can scan this, and then the link to the call will be in the WhatsApp group, and you can join the group and click the link there and join the call. So in a moment, this should come up. In a moment now, this should be up here. So while that's taking time, I'll just okay. It's up here. So if you want to join the WhatsApp group, you can scan the QR code with your phone and join the group there. So I'll just quickly do this. So in a minute, just give me a minute, I'll be back. So let's see, someone has dropped something in the chat. So the United fan, let's have a look. So remove. So you remove this, remove it. So United fan, what has he said there? So he says, it seems Eric Chelle is starstruck by some of these older players because I don't understand why doesn't he drop a Gigi. It would be an Onyeka. Moses Simon has no business in the team. Now, for me, that I've said that he doesn't have a place in this team. And why have I said that? I think he still has something to offer. Strangely, I feel Simon Moses has something to offer. Generally, from a general football standpoint, he has something to offer. But tactically, to play this 4-4-2-2 formation, I don't think his style of play meshes up with what. Yeah, so I've dropped the link in the group. Showing if you want to join, you can click on it and join. So for me, I don't think he meshes up with what Eric Chelle has said he wants to do, with what we want to achieve with this 4-2-2 formation. So I don't think he meshes up with what he wants to do. And the thing for me is, while you watch the game, you can see Iwobi get tired. You can see it. That's how we are in this situation of, Congo, no Congo, World Cup, no World Cup, apply to FIFA, don't apply to FIFA thing. Iwobi lost the ball. He, I'm sure, wanted to win that ball. He wanted to win the ball. But he was gassed out. He couldn't. He tried. Just no energy. And this goes down to Eric Chelle because one, you've played him back to back to back games. He's super tired. He's super gassed out, and he's normally someone that gets tired in games anyway. So Victor Iho says Cyril Dessers should have been dropped. I agree. And why do I agree? Is Cyril Dessers a bad player? No, he's not a bad player. You can score the amount of goals he scored for Rangers and the goals he scored he scored in Greece. You can't look at and say, oh, he's a bad player. No, he's not a bad player. But he doesn't fit the system. And Nigeria doesn't have a 10. So until you have a 10 that can allow a striker play on the shoulder of a defender and just walk his way and drop that delicate pass, then Dessers would not really give you what you're looking for in a striker. That's just the truth. You can like it or hate it, but you can't cheat the game. You can't cheat football. You can be outside and say this player is good, but you can't cheat what they do on the pitch, playing in their favored position. So for me, the likes of Rafiu Durushimi should have been the ones in this team because they match that physicality. They would give you that zeal to run in behind and actually get mad. And, if you get what I mean. So Dessers, for me, stylistically, doesn't match up. It doesn't match up. It doesn't match up. In my opinion, it doesn't match up. So, opinion on the petition. Let me give my 2 cents on. So, thanks for your question. What's your opinion on the petition? For me, first and first, some people are saying, "Oh, why do you want to petition? Why do you petition? Oh, we want to go to the back door." If these positions were swapped, we're switched. Maybe Nigeria had won this game and played maybe it and 1-0 without getting the appropriate clearance. Congo would have done the same thing quickly, in a heartbeat. Congo would have done it in a heartbeat. So, no issues about that. But for me, where I have certain issues with this is, even if FIFA, for whatever reason, says, you know what? Yeah, Congo, they got ineligible players to play this game. Therefore, they will not be playing in the Intercontinental tournament. The Nigerian Super Eagles, since they played the final against them, will be awarded 3 goals and 3 points, and therefore get to play in that game versus whether Bolivia or New Caledonia or whatever. The NFF, have they learned any lessons? How would they construct that team? How would they put that team together? And I would say, haven't learned any lessons. And why do I say that? Look at how this particular team, going to this AFCON, is constructed, or was constructed. You still have the gaping holes. You still have the team being used like an advertising board for agents. Because in a tournament like this, someone playing in a club that's been released a gazillion times shouldn't be in this team. That's the honest truth. When you have someone playing in fine form in who's playing in a Premier League club, playing in the same position, you don't dump that player for another player that has been released by low-level clubs. You don't have a player who is playing in the Czech league, scoring goals, playing in European continental competitions, scoring goals. You don't dump him for someone playing in the Croatian league, not playing in Europe, and not even dominating the league. That's the thing. Not even going on to dominate that league. You don't do that. If you've learned your lesson, oh, we missed out on this World Cup. Oh my God, this is so bad. Let's do all we can to make sure we win this AFCON. What we're going to do, we're going to stack this team with all the best players we have accessible to Nigeria. We're going to convince it in one area. We're going to get Philip Potele, who is on fine form. We're going to get him in. Rafi Durushimi, we're going to bring you in. Uche Santos, you're playing European football for Crystal Palace. We'll get you in. We'll make sure we pad this team so much that we want to atone for the mistakes we've made. No. They still, well, we're going to do the same thing. Play players, someone who hasn't played, for any Nigerian team for the past 6 years, someone who is not even dominating the league he's playing in, which is a low-level league, and he's not playing for one of the top two, like Maccabi Haifa, Hapoel Tel Aviv. He's not playing for any of those. He's playing for a low-level club, and those low-level clubs have released him back-to-back seasons. Yet he's the one you say, this guy playing in the Premier League, we're not going to use him. We are going to use this guy. So they haven't learned. So when you come to that intercontinental playoff, even if FIFA says, oh, Nigeria can go to World Cup, can go to intercontinental playoff, have they learned their lesson? That will just give them more, how do I put this? It will give them more pep, right? To give them more motivation to go on and bring, some player from one weird place and throw in there. That's why when people blame dual nationals, it gets me upset because you're missing the problem. You're missing what the issue is. Because even if we focus on the homegrown, the NFF are not picking the best homegrown. Salim Fago is homegrown, but he's not the best one based on what they're doing. Like I said, you can't deceive football. You watch it with your eyes. This guy is playing for a better club. He's performing better than this person. You can see it with your eyes. You follow football. You can see it. You can't cheat it. So when someone somewhere decides to bring one stranger and drops in the team and expects magic, I'll support the team. I want the team to win. I'm wearing this shirt. I want the team to win. But the NFF, they are mocking things about. And Eric Chelle is being complicit with how he's playing players out of position. So I'll bring, before I read the next chat here, I will bring Shehu on. I think he's been patiently waiting. I'll bring him on here. And nice to see my brother.
Good afternoon, my brother.
Yeah, good afternoon, my brother. Nice
Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. I can hear you perfectly. Yeah. I'll read one chat
First
and then
of all,
I'll let you come on. I'll read
okay,
chat quickly.
okay.
Yeah. So, say Wakal is needed badly. I kind of see what you mean because he's a 10, but really, do we need him? But we need it. If Eric Chelle wants to play what he wants to play with those kind of Dessers, then you need to get an actual 10. The United fan also said this. Quite honestly, I'm not prepared to watch the AFCON. I can't go through the stress of watching bad football, not winning anything in the end. See, this is my advice to United fans. Take this as something fun. Have your drink, whatever drink you like to drink, whether it's Coke, Sprite, whatever drink you like to drink, have it by your side. Have your loved ones around you. Just have fun with it. Have fun with it. I know it's difficult when the game starts, whether we'll not all be losing our minds, but what can we do? The NFF is almost like they're joking with things. And then I'll read this one lastly. So from Victor, it says Rafiu, Durushimi, and Philip Butele should be in this team. 110%. 110%. All right, so Shehu, it's been a while that we've not been on here. So what do you make the list first off?
First of all, this is shambolic list. That's one. That's the goalkeeper. Why the man for so that's one. I watched that match against Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
This man called Obasoje is a very not good though. It's not good at all. Look at the goal conceded. That's very toppy good. Secondly, defense line. Let's say okay, defense okay now. Nobody's available. Nobody's available. No any special planning. But midfield, what happened to the guy? That boy that playing that Nigerian new country. How can you do that and bring that boy in? I forgot the guy. What's the guy's name? That plays
They're playing. Is it the one that plays
what's that guy name? That guy name. What's that guy name?
Adam Mukhtar.
Adam Mukhtar. Adam Mukhtar. Yes. How come that to play for Nigeria to give a 90 team? So that bring in Some Mohammed. When I played for Nigeria for about 9 years ago. Like
Mm-hmm.
that time I played for Nigeria was the friendly match against I think my junior team in
Yeah.
Uyo. That's my favorite. So last
And
time
for me,
after that nothing happened.
you
He
see,
plays he plays in Israel. I
yeah.
don't know what's for me. Secondly, Fagbo. That boy is too raw, very raw. Watch him against Egypt. That skill, that's local skill now, amateur skill. Can't believe someone. It's too rough
Mm-hmm.
for that time. How can Philip Odele that chance to play that right from there? And for me, Eric Chelle, this one team. That purpose you can work in Nigeria, can't work because one don't have 10
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have 10. That team need 10. What that when play standard 4-3-3 better. Um, guy, Tochukwu or Ebenezer Abdulrahman and the play in the back, playing from the back four. Ebenezer Abdul, you don't go for go up and down and the seat at the back. Play will be as a matter that's the best for Nigeria. Not for, and
Yeah.
important
Like
for Nigeria. Yeah, that play, but that boy can but when you play our football, that matter what against Egypt. You are playing that position. How do you play with a second striker? Who does that? If you can say winger, not the striker, the winger. The better of the game was play with the winger. That's the better of the game. Play from the one to my 10, find number 10, not if you can do my second striker. And secondly, if you are not careful, this happen. You know what part the group stage. Because Shell doesn't have plan B. Doesn't have plan B.
he doesn't have plan B,
And
and he makes the
unfortunately
job
for him,
difficult for himself. Like he makes it difficult for himself, which is when you have this sort of team. Before you came on, maybe you hear what I said. Like some of the best
I'm
coaches
with
in
you.
the world,
I'm here.
some of the best coaches in the world, they make things simple. They just say, okay, all right, Ademola Lookman, you are the best right now. You're the best left winger we have in the team. Play left wing. Chukwueze, play right wing. Ebenezer Akinsimiro and Ndidi, based on what we have right now,
Listen,
play in front of the back four, and then you, Ebenezer Akinsimiro, flog those long passes, help coordinate the play. You have your if you want to
simple.
play that for that 4-2 formation, you have those two there. Simple. You keep it simple and watch. If whilst you're watching that game, some difficulties come up, then you can tweak. But you don't, as the game
But
starts,
just
you just play people out of position and you expect magic to happen on the pitch.
for example, look at me actually join Madrid. I
Mm-hmm.
know that on that season with when Champions League, they don't have a striker. What would you do? They play Vinicius and a good player two striker. Play Benham and number 10. Simple. And they want the camera easily. Without a striker. When enemy go, then have to go straight to the bench and then it goes. But you don't play with your strength.
Mm-hmm.
What they want to do high level coaching. This kind of team. Want that if you want that, get player like Kadim Elegbe from get that boy to play for the winger. They're very fast. Get really in that school. Get the best player to play for you. And that one, the NFL they don't want to do that. They don't do us at all. They don't want to us for players at
See,
all.
no, see,
How do you
I've
explain to me dropping a Christopher share?
like,
I'm listening.
how,
Dropping that share to
how
take
will you keep
to pick
putting him on the bench?
to
Like
pick
how do you not invite with
Aston
you?
Mohammed.
Go on, sorry, go on.
Imagine dropping Uche drop for who
Usman Mohammed.
for someone that dropping Otele for Fago. Who
Wow.
does that? How does that happen? Now, funnily, you now pick Desert Josimi. That is very good. In Nigerian color, that is we struggle like something like Tanzania, thing like
He will
Uganda.
struggle.
We struggle,
He will struggle.
they will bully him. They
See,
will bully him.
Essas
They
is
will bully.
like would I say Inzaghi? I'm not saying he's up to the level of Inzaghi, but he's like that Inzaghi type of player. Give him that through ball, he will make the runs. He will make the right runs.
And score.
Give him the ball, 1v1, convert, score. But if you want him to run the channels, be physical with defenders,
It's not
power football,
possible. It's
he will
not done.
struggle.
It's not done.
He will struggle.
It's not done.
100% he will struggle. So you have
It's not
Rafinha
done.
6'4", powerful player. You can see with your eyes if you watch him play. You say, no, we are not going to invite him. Or we'll just throw him in the 55-man list and dump him. So how are you?
This team list NFF made the team not share team. But Shell has been compromised because of the work of ticket. Well, that Nigeria quarter now, we have to say to game his team because they're not qualifying now. They say what you want to say. You go and sit down there. They will control him, they will control it because they have lost the ticket. You know when Shell come the first time, make the team look very good, make something good team. But now
Yeah.
this have control like this is not a team, this is not a team that has been compromised. And second, why Congo issue. I don't know if it's a rumor. There's a cap that have traded get away. I don't know if it's a rumor. I thought it's a rumor. I
I don't
start
think
saying
it's
Nigeria to
Scott's
go away.
place to decide on it either way. I think it's FIFA, whether FIFA would agree or not. For me, the thing is
Other than FIFA,
whether FIFA is throwing it out.
let me go. That was tiring. But for me personally, if Congo do a bad thing, they should pay the money.
Yeah, for me is
That's one
If
because
Nigeria had done this, if maybe let's say for instance, if and one
the
play for Nigeria without the clearance, Congo would have anything wasted time. Congo would have reported that in the moment that match ended. So it
for
is normal. I have no
for
issue with
example.
that.
For example, last World Cup that I qualified to in 2018, Nigeria have qualified already, but because Nigeria made a mistake share of life,
Mm-hmm.
FIFA dropped that 3 points. It just why don't like give up to Algeria. So for me, if that is true,
Yeah.
FIFA should just do the right thing. But the question is, can this NFF do
Would they
can
learn a
NFF
lesson
do
from
this
it?
thing in the right way to go to work?
So,
No,
sure. Well, let me take some
they
questions
don't learn.
from.
They won't
Let
learn.
me take some chats in the comments. I'll do
No,
that, and
but
then we'll go on. So,
no problem with you.
okay,
No
okay,
problem.
thank you so much. So we've got the United fan says, why am I still hearing Indidi's name? It's time for him to sit down at home. This is Rafael Onyedika's time to shine. Yeah, I'm agree with you on that. I agree with you on that one. We're in agreement. Indeed, for me, should either be a bench player that comes off the bench, or he should be chilling right now with his loved ones. Christmas is around the corner. Have some jollof rice made, fried rice made, lovely drinks to enjoy with the family. Chill down, be sharing snaps with us. Oh, look at sharing the boy from home. But to have him as the mainstay, and I heard something somewhere, I'm not quite sure. He may be captain of Nigeria, which means if he's captain, that means he's going to play every game in this AFCON, which is for me scary to even think about. So, and then going on to the next one, we've got Jay says, my question is, why did we play a game with Onuachu up top and no one crossing in the air? Yeah, that was a strange one for me too. You have Onuachu, I think he's 6'6", 6'7", an absolute giant of a player, and you take one of our wingers in what's his face now. You take him, Chizere Juke, and play as a second striker, as opposed to play him on the wings where he can put those crosses into the box. That is weird to me. That's why I say that's one of the things Eric Chelle has to stop. Football at its core is a beautiful game when you keep it simple. When you begin to complicate it, right back play in midfield, winger play as a striker, you confuse things, and that does not help anybody. So I agree with you. Why you have such a giant in the 18-yard box? One of his strengths is being physical and scoring goals with his head, and you don't cross the ball. This reminds me of what happened in an African Cup of Nations tournament where Victor Gali, one of the best headers in the ball I've seen in world football, you had him in the team. They refused to cross the ball for him. So that's weird to me. So I'll go on to Wale. What Wale has to say as well. Wale says Siasia should be the coach of the Super Eagles. The whole NFF needs overhaul. All must go. All of them should be replaced in their so-called technical team. For me, I would say I've said it. The NFF is a cult. It should be broken. It should be burnt down. It should be just broken down to the ground, swept away, and built back up. Because you can't be hurting yourself like this. And because who will take? Let's put this: who will take the glory if you have in this team all the best players Nigeria can offer? and you go on to win AFCON. Who will take the glory? Not just, oh, this NFF guy, they're so good. The praise will be so high from Nigerians. So the fact that you don't even want to do something that will give you praise from people, that will make your re-election easier and smoother, is weird to me. It's seriously weird. So let's go on some more chats and then I'll come to you, share the address of it. So Jay says Eric Chelle is a poor manager. Any sensible manager would start training our left wing back, right wing back to cross the ball. And then he says FIFA will sanction DR Congo. I see Nigeria taking the spot. Playing Didi. Indeed, is still very vital for our team. Okay. Let's hope you're right. Because for me, if I come to the show, I'll just mute it. Because for me, I watch him in games. He and Iwobi, they expire. But what I mean by that is they get absolutely tired. They get so tired in games, and the opposition begins to get impetus. And usually, Eric Chelle will take Victor Osimhen off in the second half, and then you have a midfield that is tiring. What that happens? That will now make the opposition team feel like, yeah, we have confidence now. We can be on the ball. We can push forward and get into the yeah. But for me, in the team, this is what I feel his role should be in this team. There's nothing we can do about it. He's running the team, right? If you play, Tochukwu Nadi and Ebenezer Kinsimiro in that role in front of the defense line, and we don't have any proper 10 now, so if you want to play 4-3-3, maybe Iwobi will play there, okay? Maybe the game is going 10 minutes to go, 12 minutes to go. You want to shore up the game. Maybe you're winning Tunisia 2-1, 2-0. You want to shore up the game, shore up the midfield. Then you bring on Ndidi. Say, okay, come and join Akinsimiro. Come and join Tochukwu Nadi so that we have to make the midfield compact and difficult for them to break us down. In that sense, yes, he can be important in that way. But to be the main guy in the midfield, 2025, I don't really see it that way. So Shion, let me hear what you have to say about some of the chats and everything.
Okay, we're talking about the issue. I think for now, we need the issue.
Okay.
But in one condition,
Okay.
playing with either Kisonu or Cincinnati.
Okay.
That means less work to do in midfield. They back for him. Just like Chelsea used to use Jorginho there.
Mm-hmm.
Can't mark for Jorginho and Kovacic. So they don't just be distributed the ball in midfield. So let's do that. Secondly, for now, if I want to play playing that form, play 4-3-3. That's good. For that program, what best of Chukwueze from that left wing. Look more struggle under this man. The way they play football, they play narrow, and this time was working. That's like signal for me. Let's divide for me defensive line. Oyemechi Bruno was better than Danusi going forward. And after that match, now first match after they'll play Alibio Oshua at the right back. Let this young man sit on the bench. What name? And he batted his feet. And the thing with Ubo. That boy can play like can play the way he can. Ubo can play past it. Although make some else win that game, but he can be a good ball carrier to because the ball after the attack. The good ball carrier, the ball playing defender. That Ubo, the club goes. The ball playing that's good for me. And the attack line should be Osimhen number 9
Mm-hmm.
and Tupan Chukwueze at the winger
Okay.
because they can play. And for me, let the good players play number 10. Leave number 10. But that's one if it don't work for me. Good because that 10 something you get out. Let's play number 10. Let it play further forward to join the attack.
Yeah. For me,
At least
if you play anywhere,
we are playing that formation. You would have the can't work at all. And concerning the Congo again, for me, if Congo is good because you can't imagine when you play with that machinery. If it's true that Ambitaka is not leaving Congo, because before now, if I learned that he was they are under 21 years, Canadian national team. And Ambitaka is the time already. That was the start of Congo. Look at this guy now. That mean now. What those guy? That one that play with in the Batista, that defender. The Nigerian defender that play for the time. The German
Um,
defender that play with
is it Udokai,
uh,
something like that? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
your Kai. All those guys when Shell coming to the job, they try to go get them play for Nigeria. After a few minutes, everything died down. This guy that like go Chuku that believe now. They are believe now. I believe
Yeah,
now.
very
They are
easy
believe
to
because
get. Very easy to get him because
that's will not call him.
he's
They will not call him. For play for Burnley.
yeah, yeah. Because
They will not call him.
he
They went on now.
okay,
Imagine having that boy in midfield. Imagine having that boy in midfield. That boy is a perfect independent for Didi. That you just want to on the bench, watch the match, come and talk about that boy. If you work higher, but I know what you're thinking. That boy is a cousin of when you can share power with Nigeria defender. The cousin, same the quarter guy.
that is it's
Just
an
simple thing.
easy thing to do. Let's look at Juku. He's an easy player to get to play for
And this
Nigeria
guy,
if the intention is there.
what about the young man too? Jolly that play for Monaco. That was easy. That Monaco striker. Instead of getting this Pago boy, that boy is powerful, is strong, can run the channel.
Mm-hmm.
You have someone experience.
Mm-hmm.
Can picking players that are playing Goshan division.
They're using
That's embarrassing.
the NFF. They're using Nigeria
Nigeria,
as sorry for interrupting you. Continue on.
again, okay. One imagine, look at that young man. He's very good with this capital team winger. He takes scoring in Barcelona. Someone the experience all the time. Eventually, now he's not going now blowing next 2 years though. Now blowing next year. Now it's time for PSG.
Mm-hmm.
After now see now. Fan now calling and say that's how now machine. No go want to call him. Now that's not call him now.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we lost Edna married to Spain.
Yeah,
That leads to that girl to Spain. Married to Spain.
lost Emmanuel to
That's how we got
Spain.
wait. Call the guy. Call the people and call the guy. Say because that was that you're not calling them. See, try will snow. What have to pack on down the walls? Because pack on that aging. Die down aging already. Check the aging of that just team lead. Pack on the walls because no Nigeria league very poor now. No player coming. They're not like that team now. That's what Nigeria could do that team. If that man was the one was manager, that former manager, get play for in USA and Germany, get play for now. That depending on everybody and that, and the AG.
Mm-hmm.
I watch I watch German yesterday for finish German yesterday. Look at German, they're being cleared all the time, all the
Mm-hmm.
time. But we are not that. Imagine was ability for like 2 years. Just call him, go copy for once. Look at now. Then now with when Spain and say yes, other capital Soliver. Same thing we do. Same thing we do to give their two. Madueke.
Yeah,
Call him, bad boy. Don't call him. Well, they're not calling more until you're now join Chelsea and then I focus on it. Different that. That's done. That's the issue. So this NFL boy, they must go.
they must go.
They must get a better.
The problem I have with the NFF is
eh,
even if you say you want to do
I'm
federal
listening.
character, which I don't think should be a thing for me, is if everybody's from Imo State, but you can play football, you're good, you're the best, play. If everybody's from Kaduna, but you're the best, you can play. But if you say you want to do further character thing, why not get the best person? For instance, under 20s, there's Umar Hafiz Ibrahim, obviously from the north, but he's scoring lots of goals. He's been on good. He was in good form for what they call the Rams. I think he's good form for them
in
in
Germany,
France.
in
France,
France.
but he was not called to the under 20.
Okay.
He wasn't called to the under 20. So, so for me, it's not even a question of try because a lot of times people get divided. Nigerian football fans get divided based on not. It's not that. These guys that are using the NFF, I mean the Super Eagles, as a platform to advertise players for agents. Agents will find them something, they'll bring a player from God knows where, throw him into the team because it goes to their CV. If you've ever worked in football management, you know that the fact that Usman Mohammed is in this team, it goes to his CV and it could help him get a club. So Super Eagles should not be what should help you get a club. You should be already good before, and then Super Eagles, you come and play. Your good performance takes you to the next level. It should not be where it should not be a tool to advertise you. Oh, you're playing in a sixth division league somewhere. Let's use Super Eagles to advertise you so that agent club will see you. But that's what is happening. Usman Mohammed
Right,
should not be
right now,
near this team. But anyway,
right, right now, I'm watching Arab World Cup. Morocco is the final and they're playing final with their second team.
yeah,
Now, this team now, their players in the domestic ego in this team. Oh, when that crucial matches and they start now believe they don't come and play forward. That's the team building.
yeah.
But Nigeria, no, 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 no.
Every metric,
They still have they still
yeah. Sorry, I said every metric.
they still have they still have
Go on, continue.
they still have they still have they still have the under 20 team that won't work with. They're still there. Oh. They're still there. They're still that's close now. Are you okay?
Okay, so
Hello? Can you hear me? Sorry,
no
wait.
worries, no worries.
So they still have the under 20. Under 20 team perform very well. After we know they apply there. Oh. So what we that next 20 years, Moko boy is secure because their time is very full. That's the
See,
but we right now we don't have talent. After our team is aging now. They're aging now. They're aging. None is coming forward. And we are struggling badly.
see,
This happened, we expose us. I swear down.
the problem with
But
Nigeria is
Shell
every
has
metric,
manipulated already.
yeah, every metric you
Those
use
ones,
on
those,
NFF
those ones,
sorry, every metric,
because
sorry. Okay, let me go on. Okay. Yeah, thanks for your points, Sean. I'll get back to you so you can.
continue,
Okay.
continue,
But,
continue,
but the thing with NFF
continue,
is that
continue.
everything you use to judge an FA, every metric that is from grassroots development, fail. From integrating players in from grassroots into eighth grade teams under 17, under 20, under 23, fail.
Fail.
From getting dual nationals, getting the best dual nationals, integrating them into the team, fail. Okay, now those players who have worked hard, struggled hard, gone overseas by their own hard work, and have become something. Bring them into the team now, still fail.
Fail.
So every
Fail.
metric you judge an FA by, or you qualify for tournament, which is a metric, AFCON, World Cup,
No.
problem.
Walk up.
So that's an issue. Let me read some of this chat and then
See. See. Okay.
So the United fan says both our left backs can't cross the ball. How out? Now we have to start thinking about bringing in new left backs. That's the thing. When I talk about Zaidu Sanusi, there's someone who likes to jump into the comments and you say, I don't know football. I'm criticizing Zaidu Sanusi. That's fine. I've been watching football for decades now. So I think I know it's in the two about good players. Now, Zaidu Sanusi, he will run. For me, one thing you will say for Zaidu Sanusi is he will give you effort. He will run. But how many of those his runs, he will cross the ball. But how many of those crosses are accurate? That is the question. Zaidu Sanusi will run. He will cross ball. But how many of them are accurate? Let me, in that playoff, one person we know that always hustles and that is very good in the air is Victor Osimhen. How many of Zaidu Sanusi's crosses got to Osimhen? In the semi-final, in the early part of in that first half when Osimhen played, even in the World Cup, this in itself, in the World Cup qualifiers himself, how many of his crosses were accurate? Those are questions we need to ask ourselves. Because sometimes when someone is critical of a player, oh, you say he's this, oh, keep this out of that. If you watch him, do you enjoy Zaidu Sanusi? You watch him, do you enjoy him? Do you enjoy watching Zaidu Sanusi play? Benjamin Frederick, everyone is universal. You can't argue. That's why I say football. You cannot cheat football. You cannot cheat your eyes. Everybody says Frederick is world class. He's top class player. We are going to miss him. You don't. No one will argue Benjamin Frederick. Calvin Bassey has improved. Calvin Bassey wasn't really that good earlier on, but he started improving. And then that three at the back system by Pesero made him better, improved him. Now he's now a stalwart in that defense. You can't cheat it. You can't cheat football. You're watching with your eyes. You can see it. You can see it. That he's good. That's why we always mention him. So Zaidu Sanusi hasn't been that good. We have to look for new left back. For me, there's Jaden Megoma. He's playing for Rangers now. That's a left back we should be looking at. He possibly, maybe who knows, by next season, he and Benjamin Frederick will be. He's playing for Rangers.
Which Rangers? Say Rangers of Scotland.
Rangers of Scotland. He's on loan from Brentford.
Of Scotland.
He's on loan from Brentford to Rangers. So for Rangers in Scotland. So next season, who knows? He and Frederick could be in the Brentford team in Premier League. Who knows? Let's see about that. But left back options we should begin to look at. Felix Agu, for me, he's the most technically gifted left back we have. But when they say injury or whatever, he should be. But okay, so Jason, regarding Congo, okay, let's read this chat now. Again, so it says, Dear Congo saga, FIFA will not look away if it has been proven beyond reasonable doubt that those players got their citizenship unduly. I see Nigeria printing their sport. Unfortunately, yeah, I think something similar happened with Malaysia and all that. So, because the FIFA rule is, you can't just say you have passport. Do you fall within the citizenship rules of your country? If your country itself does not allow for dual citizenship, then that won't work. So that's the point. So that's what they're arguing and all that. But for me, is why in the world are we even in this position? In a group, you have Benin Republic. In a group, you have South Africa. Why are we even to struggle with qualification?
NFF.
This
NFF.
is something
NFF.
And that's the truth. It's an NFF issue. You're watching Philip Otele, he's playing well. And you say, no, we're not going to get you. For me, even if you don't, because when I talk about players with passion, people think that, oh, you like this, you have something. I don't know. I don't have anything to get from these people, right? So if you feel there's someone you want to use in place of Philip Otele, who is that better guy? We don't see. Who is the better guy that is, playing better for Barcelona, for Real Madrid, for Bayern ahead of him? That you say, okay, this is the guy we're bringing instead. Instead, you bring someone worse than him. So
can we talk about? Have you seen the story between Guardiola, Man City and Chelsea?
About who?
The one the
Maresca to be the coach of
Man
City. Okay, I'll get to that.
Man City.
I'll get to that. After this, I'll just touch on that. I know that's a different matter altogether, but I'll get to that. So, employment like Mike Emenalo, according to who says this? Wole says this. Employment like Mike Emenalo as NFA chairman, bring men like JJ Kocha Kanu Wanko to work with Samson Siase reviving Nigerian football. I don't think Mike Emenalo would touch Nigerian football with a 20-foot pole. I don't think, because the football is rotten. It's absolutely rotten. We need a strong president that will say, Infantino, come to my villa. We want to turn our football around. Please give us some grace. And immediately pack everybody in that NFF, pack them out. That's the only way
to jail,
someone like
to
Mike
jail.
Emenalo will succeed. Because if you just
That's
leave him
about
with this same people
to
around
do to
him,
do that. That's about
anything he wants to do, they will spoil it. Anything he wants to do, it will be messed up. That's the unfortunate truth. Everybody has to go. Everybody, from the cleaner
what I
has
what I want to say now
yeah. Well,
to the show. What I want to say now may sound funny to you.
yeah.
Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you.
Under militarization, abroad better. When I come on, Bangla was there. Investor report to I come directly, not to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that time they give us that's them get the best football. Any person we have now, better than we take care. I will not give any money again. One for money. All those will stop. They will stop. They will stop. They will stop. They will stop. Those this man what's the more Phoenix and others. They will run away because no one to chop again. But as far as government give them money, they will stay there. So government will stop to give them money. Let them find their money. After have a bet two body. They want the league and they want controlling the FA. And they're doing well. This one now don't have point base. Their players are from leagues. They're playing with they're playing for one African league. For Nigeria, you play as if that you're playing as if that you're playing boys and in early 2000. Just like from Wembley now, the defender for Nigerian league, Chiola Jengbesi, who's guy game Ejiofor, Obinawani, they play for Nigerian league now, and they play very well. But now everything is spoiled. Nigerian player going to Bangladesh to play ball, going to Asian play ball. Look at yeah. They play the best thing in Europe. Spain, France, they play there. Because they have a good plan. But don't plan for Nigerian football. For me, NFM job, that's a no stop giving them money. Stop give them that money again. They will done. When I was available, William want to do for Nigeria. William, you got
Mm-hmm.
every idea. Because of these people that they are thieves.
See, the
Very,
problem is
very funny people.
the NFF. They rather spoil
Um,
something with potential of £100 million in 10 years, something that can give, let's say, £10 million every year. They rather spoil it for £1,000 today. That is the problem with NFF. They rather spoil something that has potential of maybe in 2 years'
yes,
time
now.
giving 10 million every year. They rather spoil it down because they want to get £1,000. So let's dive more into the charts, and I'll just see if I can run through all of them that here.
Yes, now.
Yeah. So it says by
No, I
Jay.
don't problem.
Yeah.
I'm here.
All right. Jay says starting 11 for Nigeria at AFCON. Nwabali, Alebiosu.
I'm here. I'm here
Yeah.
now.
Okay. Igogbu, Calvin Bassey, Zaidu Sanusi, Ndidi, Onyeka, Iwobi, Chukwueze, Osimen, Lukman. Yeah, fine. I would go Bruno in place of Zaidu, but I think looking at this is about the best we can get based on people based on people in the camp right now. Although if
Mm.
we're going with this, then maybe Chidirai Juki can come on, yeah, can come on second half, come on for Chukwueze, to bring his skill and his flair and his pace in. So United fan says he's speaking to Wale. He says you get sense. Siasia is the man. Fair play. I think Siasia is a decent coach. I think he'll keep things simple, but I think we should
No,
be.
no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Don't go
Okay.
there.
All right.
Don't go there. No, 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 no.
All
No,
right.
no, 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 no.
So Shenwan said he doesn't want Siasia anywhere there. But I was saying on the flip side, we should begin to look at
Now,
alternatives. We
should I
can't
what?
keep going back to the same circle. You understand what I mean? Like when we go foreign, if we're coming back to
Yes,
home,
so
it must be um, Finidi, Olise, Siasia. It must be what is the technical director's name? Augustine Guavon, the same circle. I think it's
you
time
don't you
for
don't have
to move into slightly different places. But for me, the wise I agree with Siasia a bit is if you're moving back to that same pool, the best of the bad bunch is Siasia of that pool that they are. But we should begin to look at
see,
other places,
see,
other places.
see,
Yeah.
see. You have another coach in Nigeria, Mike Enya, the Nigerian coach on the US under 20 team. If
Okay.
that guy can coach US under 20 team, with excellent time, let's give him chance. Let's be with the new team with him. The man will give us new team. At a very good manager. A that manager called BBC Two. He won the Motor League 2 years ago. He won the Motor League. Let him be Nigerian coach too. Stop all this Finidi. All this no, let's move forward.
For me, the
Look
only
at
coach
Senegal.
I can recommend
The
is
guys
for
look
under
at
20, under 17, under 20. Olumide should be given down that 20 job. That's the only person I can recommend because I've seen that he can develop young players. But Super Eagles, yeah.
yes, so
Super Eagles,
no 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 no.
let's see what happens
Get
with that.
get a bet get a better coach.
Yeah.
No for me it's not that it's not good that better. That there's one man called Abibaye. He's a Senegalese man. Coach him fan with men. The better manager than Shell. Let's get the manager that will suit this team. That play with respect. For me, Shell have lost his marble. She have lost his marble. That's anything can control him now.
Yeah, it will be
A
like
normal coach, allow them take bringing in bringing in a player like a small mama to fight. What for what? Who scout him? The first play. Look at the guy. No, Olusegun play in Russia. Who scout him too? Olusegun. I mean Russia. Who watch Russian league? Who
like
watch Russian league? How do you watch it? So NFF are really they only any
one
man any
thing is
devil manager they will
NFF they don't care about Super Eagles
they
winning.
control them.
They are using it as a platform to advertise players for agents. That's what they're doing. Because if you don't have a club, if you're struggling, they'll find a way to put you into Super Eagles so that can boost the player's personal CV to say, oh, he went to this tournament, even if he didn't really do anything, at that tournament.
At, at, at this stage, at this stage of football, Tatman is not Tatman is my Nigerian midfield. Tatman is not Nigerian. What thing I'm going to be after me that the key I'm moving to the next level. They are bringing that Itman after playing Russia,
Yeah,
playing that Jai.
and you have better players. Not like that. Anyway, let's see what Victor says. Three guys missing in our team: Rafi Durushimi for Cyril Dessas, Philip Otele for Usman Mohamed, Tony Ariga for Bright Samuel. I'll do some research on that Tony guy. And then says here in Germany, only ex-professional footballers run their football situation. Nigeria has endless talents. It's our corrupt leadership ruining the game for our people. Yeah, they're ruining the game. They're ruining it. One thing I've always said on this channel is the annoying thing is if Nigerian football is run well, the money you're looking for, you're going to get it 100 times. So I don't. So this is just like wickedness or they are demon possessed. They are demon possessed. That's what it feels like because corruption is if I do the right thing, I will not get the money I need to get. So I'm doing the wrong thing. But if you do the right thing in 1 year, 2 years time, you will see more benefit. So why not let the football run properly? But they say no. Let's just spoil everything. It's just annoying. So will they say thanks, bro?
For
Thank you so much for
for
being.
example, for, for, for example, in 2000 when German football was struggling,
Mm,
the Germans okay, all the club side make sure you have academy boys, and they boot academy. In 10 years time, that mean when World Cup, they don't have football. Same thing France did.
Yeah,
They
you
they
must have
didn't
a
put they
plan.
didn't have football.
You must have a plan. You must have what you want to do. And for me, the thing is, and you must have remorse. You must feel bad when something bad happens. Like as if you have missed out on this World Cup, whether or not you go to the whatever thing, I don't know. But let's just say you miss out, Nigeria misses out on this World Cup, and then no, you've missed out on the let's even before this World Cup, you've missed out on the previous World Cup. You failed to win the previous AFCON. That should have spoken to people to say, we missed out on this on World Cup. We did not win AFCON. Okay, let's do this to make sure that the next World Cup we hit it. The next AFCON we win it. All clubs have your academies. Let's start a discussion with the top dual nationals. Let's begin to invite the top talents we have. We'll tell them the right. Begin to integrate them with this team so that we have a phenomenal team. World Cup will qualify with game to spare. AFCON, we can actually have a very good chance of winning it. But no, you don't have that. Rather, when you look at, to tell you how bad this NFF are, when you look at this list, this particular list, you know that no lessons have been learned. There's zero remorse. They don't feel bad about Nigeria not going to World Cup. They don't feel bad about it. So that's why they've come up with some players that shouldn't be on here. So Jay says indeed Iwobi and Onyeka midfield 2025 clearly not ready to progress. Okay, no, that's a United fan says to Jay, indeed Iwobi and Onyeka in midfield in 2005 you're clearly not ready to progress. It's like if you watch the DR Congo game. That DR Congo game, that thing lives rent free in my head when Iwobi lost that ball and how he was just going. Like you've lost the ball. How are you not chasing this man down or making runs into the box to be an additional person in the box to play it? He was just going behind the man like this. I was like, what is going on? Cross ball, goal. So I talk about Iwobi. I do not hate him. I do not say he's a bad player or a bad person. But if you're playing a two-man midfield, Iwobi will not do it for you. He will try. What I'll give Iwobi is you will put that effort in. But 5-10 minutes, the energy is gone. It is gone. Say, just as we have seen Akinsimiro. This is where I have some problem with some people who are criticizing Akinsimiro. It says we have seen Akinsimiro and the new boys. They are clearly not ready. Now, if I give you knife, if I give you this cutlery knife and say use that to eat rice,
Can I hear me?
or use that to I can hear you, or use that
Can you
to
hear me
slice.
now?
I can hear you now. I can hear you now. Or use that to
Can
slice.
you hear me?
I can hear you, but you're breaking a bit. Okay. Yeah. I'll
Then
just
we continue. I'm listening.
yeah. And they give you that knife you used to eat. Use your knife and fork to eat rice, cutlery, right? If they give you that knife, say cut bread with it, slice bread. I'm sure you're really going to struggle slicing that bread. You have a knife. You struggle slicing that bread. You will really struggle slicing it. If they give you, let's say, well, let's say that they give you a bowl to drink tea. You go to your friend's house and they offer you tea in a bowl. I'm sure you look at your friend like, are you okay? You're giving me tea in a bowl instead of a cup. Now you have Ebenezer Kinsimiro. He is a six, a deep line playmaker, and he's being played out of position. Football is not checkers, it's not draft. You don't take any piece and put anywhere. You play people where they are meant to be. Ebenezer Kinsimiro, if you want to say the occasion is too big for him, whatever, play him in that his role. If he struggles there, then you can say, oh, you played him in his role, though. He struggled, though. So this, but you're playing him out of position. Even if you bring Pello, get Pello in his prime. Get Pello in his prime. Play him out of position. He will struggle. Get Ellen Haaland. Play him as a right winger. He will struggle. One of the best strikers in the world. One of the best strikers in the world, Ellen Haaland. Because Haaland, for me, is Haaland, and then it's Osimhen, and then Kane. Get any of those people, play them out of position. Get Victor Osimhen and say, Osimhen, play right wing, play left wing. He will struggle. So it's not just a question of, oh, he played, or we saw him, but where did he play? Was he played in his actual rightful position? If you play him there, he struggles. We can all raise our hands up, including me, that I sound like his fanboy. I will raise my hand to say, oh, Ebenezer Kesimiro, he struggled though. Play him in his right position. If he struggles, then we can say, yeah, play him in his right position. He struggled, but don't say, oh, we saw him, but he doesn't have experience, but he's being played out of position. Eric Chelle is injury. This is why I titled this video on the thumbnail. You see, he has to stop this. He has to stop playing players out of position. It doesn't make you a world-class coach. It doesn't make you seem highly intellectual when you play players out of position. It makes you seem arrogant. It just makes you feel arrogant and someone who and feels like someone who does not like to win, who prefers his ego than winning. Because you play, okay, the Ndidi we are talking about, take Ndidi and play as a 10. Take Ndidi, play him as a 10 and see if what he's going to do there. So for me, these are the things. Play these boys in their rightful position. That's how we can judge them. For me, if Ebenezer Kesimiro struggles, and I mean he's played in the right position and he struggles, I'll raise my hand. I'll come here and I'll tell you that he struggles, and I'll give you the reason why he struggled. So play people in their rightful position. Play players in their rightful position. And when you play them in their rightful position, if they don't play well, then so Jay says you cannot play the experienced boys in the AFCON. Thank God you are not the manager. But we are seeing experience is not something you just say, oh, he's experienced. What have we not seen what this experience have done for us? Indeed, it will be. We're talking about experience. If it's all about the experience, Mikel is there. He still looks fit. Mikel is still there. He still looks fit. Why not bring him on? No, if you look at Mikel, it looks like we can still play football, right? If you say experience, bring Mikel on. Let Mikel come and play. And Mikel may even shock you and play better than Ndidi. But I'm just saying, bring him on. If experience is the only thing, bring him on and see if he doesn't struggle. So it's not just experience. Experience is good, it's one part, but this is not office. It's not an office job. It's not a 9 to 5 job. You have to be athletic. Your body, you have to walk on the pitch. Your body has to carry you. You have to be able to run. You have to be able to mark your man. All these things are still required in addition to your being experienced. So we'll go on. So Wale says. Let's say I'm 58 and I have seen great Nigerian football. Our mothers never stop giving us talents. Nigerian people must wake up to our ancient histories, for they know not who we are. Yeah, people don't know who we are. We have lots of good players everywhere you look, whether it's from the TCC tournament, other domestic academies, whether it's dual nationals, whether it's homegrown players that are overseas, we have talents everywhere. The question is, the NFF, they don't care so much about winning. Winning is not their ultimate goal. Their goal is something else. Their goal is $20,000 now, $5,000 tomorrow. They are not really obsessed with winning. Like, we just want to win. That's Morocco. Morocco, they're obsessed. They're completely taken over by winning. They just want to win. They want to be the first African country to win the World Cup. They're obsessed with it. Look at the structure they put in place. Look at what they're doing with dual national. Look at what they're doing with their homegrown players. Every team competes. Under 17, under 20, senior team. They are obsessed. They are taken over by winning. While we are like, oh, this guy that is playing for Irani United, let's bring him in, let him come and play here. Even if he's not good. Oh, that one dribble. That's one thing I love about Nigeria. That one dribble, he dribbled that Atletico Madrid game 7 years ago. That is what we want to use to give him a place. Bartolome Obeche used overhead kick. He didn't score from that overhead kick. He used that overhead kick and got into World Cup squad.
What happened? What happened at the World Cup?
Who?
What happened at the World Cup? At the World Cup, at the World Cup, what happened at the World Cup?
The World Cup, no one saw him there.
At the World Cup, what, no, that's all.
No one saw him there. He used
See
overhead
my brother.
and got World Cup spot. So,
See my brother.
yeah.
Naija boy don't tire me.
I'm telling you the truth.
Don't tire me.
It's tiring. It's tiring.
We go talk. We talk every time. They will not change. Imagine. After what happened Morocco, we try to get a better team. After what happened in playoff to Morocco, we try to get a better team to AFCON. What do I get? Transfer Mohammed, 5 goals. Chelsea back out of the way. Adam flat of the way. Philip Oliver out of the way. Shahid is scored. Who again? Pago in scored. Out of Botele. Out of Botele. Out of that. Morocco make Belgium change change their mind about the nationality. They are born in Belgium. You must say want to play for Belgium. Where what Morocco did to Belgium?
When they
They
put on,
they play for Morocco now.
Mhm.
The boy was born in Belgium. He play ultimately Belgium play like it's faster. He was okay. So you are playing for Morocco. Because of this. Belgium doesn't mean that match now. Anytime anybody that bought Morocco, you must say that the people Belgium first before they give scholarship to their academy. What the when Morocco do to them?
one thing about this dual national thing that people
Look
don't
at
get.
that team. I'm listening. Continue.
Okay, sorry.
I'm
One thing
listening.
about this dual national thing that people don't get is
I'm listening.
what they don't get is it's not just Africa versus European. Every country in the world, they're looking for their best players. Whether you're homegrown through their system in the country or you're a dual national outside the country, once you're eligible to play and you're doing it, they're looking for a way to get you in. Look at Diego Moreira. He played all his games, all his under age grade competition for Portugal. Everybody's
Portugal.
thinking the next step will be seeing Portugal national team. From nowhere, bam, Belgium. So it's not something of Africa. If you don't develop your own is anybody eligible to play for you. So for me, the thing is that every metric NFF they are failing. They are failing Nigeria. What would it cost you? Otele, you don't need to convince him to switch. You don't need to fill in any form to switch nationality. He only has Nigerian nationality. Why is he not here? So there's some nice
That's how we
arguments
let
going
guys
on.
go play for Poland. With Shadebe.
There's one nice argument going in the chat. So Jay says Shehu Fago runs without looking. Yeah, runs without looking up. He can come in towards the end of the game, but I don't see him displacing Chukwueze. Yeah, I don't see him displacing Chukwueze. And you know why? He's not a winger. He's not a winger. He's a striker. So that's another thing. Philip Otele. What's his face? With Chelle. Chelle has seen him and is playing him as a winger. What are you getting from that? Playing Fago as a winger. Yes, for one, I don't think Fago should be in this team. I think Rafi Durushimi should have been in this team as a striker. I feel Philip Otele should have been in this team. But to be fair to the young man, he was played out of position. Why? What do you gain from it? So yeah, Kanu and JJ can't coach. Forget about that. About those two people. So Nigerian coaches lack support. One of our biggest problems. Yet it was Nigerian coaches that won us all on the time. Won us this the championship. For me, I think it's education. Most of our players don't have the education that once you're done with football, like playing on the pitch, you can go into coaching, or you should go into coaching, get your coaching badges and another kind of thing. Like they don't really have plan post football. Like what are you going to do once you finish playing football? Once you drop your boots, you hang your boots up. What next? Like you look at this team now. For a lot of them, this is their last AFCON. For a lot of them, by 4 years' time, they are done. So what is their plan? How
For
many of
for
them are taking their
for
part?
2 years.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, Shion, go on.
See, my brother, see. Talking about coaches, Nigerian players that Nigerian players, especially players, most of them they are politicians. Then they need to work. The other big point is to do a job.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
For example, let's take Shell as an example. Shell was born in France to Malian parents.
mm-hmm,
After his running career, went to coaching. Now, the Shell leave Nigeria and get a better job. Agree,
mm-hmm,
because it is that way Nigeria. Now, there's a player that man called Abid Beye
mm-hmm,
was Senegalese player. Was born in France. Played for that team. Played for that national cup with this guy set of Fadiga, uh, Fadiga, Benakwele. That. But now it's now coaching France third division club. Against Lyon in Reims. But that's quality. West, you be that when after the manager you go to France, which if possible you get a better job in that club side. Look at the guy too. The Paddy Guerra. He's a better coach. After his money agent, I put football. Look at Belgium. Belgium with nation. When they are playing they are going to coaching courses. That's why it's easy for you guys to go and coach what's the guy? Company. Look at this Manchester coach now. Moesca. He's a one player. But they know what they are doing. Christian Shibu is the player to Shibu. Because when coach here in Inter Milan now, they know what they are doing. But Nigerian players are very lazy. They either wait for NFF to give them as a field coach, uh, collect AGF fee. That's the NFF they are doing that way. So for me, that coaching stuff, for me, after Shell left, if Shell left the job, and Shell will leave after that, for Shell leave after that, I'm very sure. Get us a better coach. And for the that to good, let president step into the matter. Let them go. There's no come back for second time. So that's about that for the Nigerian team. Please, let me talk about Chelsea before I go.
okay, okay.
See, Chelsea, this are not to be the meeting of their life. They allow Mortal join Man City because although we are teaching Mortal very bad in Chelsea, in transfer detail, no input at all. Let him buy what he wants and do his team. Yes, they win, a man that can beat PSG hand down with full confidence. PSG that beat everybody. PSG beat Man before them in that tournament. Beat Liverpool, beat Barcelona. What does he want? Let him give him what he wants. Man, just not playing. They play my game. Guardiola is not leaving very soon. They're not planning for Guardiola. So Chelsea without doing it, keep this man and let him have say in the contract. All these sport directors, they should go and see them. Look at Chelsea now. I mean, look at our defense now. Chelsea, that one is calamity. Calamity. Uh, Chalobah is a player. Fana, one year away from Fana. That's finished. So when you compete for the title, get him what he wants. Get a better play, get him a center back and a quality striker. Look at the laugh. Who is the laugh? The laugh at me. What happened now? You see now? And I say they are going and get more come on, want to come on to go and buy 16 of for cement. That's done. Now, so for me, Chelsea are making mistake. They let the guy go. They're making mistake. And finally, before I shit out a bit, I
Okay.
want to talk.
Yeah.
AFCON, I watch AFCON as a fan, as a just spectator. No, I don't want hypertension because I don't want hypertension at all, because I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I
Yeah.
don't want to fight at a
It
younger
won't
age.
buy, don't worry. It
I
won't
just
buy.
get
It
I,
won't buy. So that's
I
my
just I just
advice
get
to everybody.
I just uh, I
Yeah.
just got mine 2 years ago. So I have a younger wife to take care of. They will not they will not feel me.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, I
they
said
will not
everybody
feel
make
me.
it as fun time. Get yourself your drink, get yourself your food, your favorite food, get your family around you, enjoy it, eat,
That
watch this, be happy. Take it as pre-Christmas
that
fun. You know.
that that match against Congo. That play match. I could not eat, I could not eat at all. I could not eat very well. Congo, my wife come, say, come and say, no, don't worry, don't worry. Look at that embarrassment. So I don't want that again. I don't want that again. I want to sit down in my life carefully. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, yo. Thank you so much. Nice for having you on here. Nice for having you on here. Yeah. Thank you. You want us to be on or you going off? Okay. All right. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. Thanks so much, Shemo. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Shemo. Shemo always a friend of the show, always coming on. I want to be joining the calls. You can scan the QR code that I put up on here. Join the WhatsApp group. You can have discussions there about the channel, about football, about other things. If your favorite football club, about Super Eagles, AFCON, and all that, and then you click the link there, and it take you to this channel. You grant access to your microphone and camera so we can see you on here. So what we did in Unity Cup, da 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 da. After what I've said, I get the gist and arguments going on in the chat. For me, the thing is, before you want to judge players, ask yourself: is this player playing? Was he played in his rightful position? Secondly, if you bring a world-class player and play him out of position, is he going to play well? I know everybody loves Cole Palmer. You know, a lot of Chelsea fans love Cole Palmer. If you bring Cole Palmer now and you play him as a left back, will he shine? Of course, he will not shine. You know, if you bring Messi, arguably one of the best players in the world, if you bring Messi, even prime Messi, say you bring Messi of 25 years old and you play him as a defensive midfielder, will he shine? Wouldn't he struggle? Those are the things we need to ask. We say, oh yeah, we've seen that Benitez Akinsimiro. Was he playing his rightful position? Chidera Juke was playing out of position. Paul Onuachu was isolated. Crosses were not coming into the box. He was only struggling and fighting with the Egyptian defenders. No one would bring the balls in. All because of what Eric Chelle decided to do. For me, he needs to stop complicating things. Eric Chelle, head coach of Nigerian Super Eagles, needs to stop complicating things. Keep it simple. Let's enjoy football as opposed to being overly tactical. This is football and not Star Trek. You know, so Wallace says, "How old are you?" He's talking to Jay. How old are you, young man? I was involved in Nigerian sports for almost 3 decades. When you were in the, you know what, Jay ran many football clinics with children, youth in England. So play players in rightful position. Look at people talking about age, young. Look at England team, young players everywhere. How you use them. I keep saying this. Even with Chelsea, I look at Chelsea, I see how they do with some players. I look at some clubs, how they do with their players. I say, this young player you brought in, yes, he's young, but are you playing him in his rightful position? When you play him there, if he struggles, then you can say, this guy struggled, you see. But he was played out of position. Let these boys play in their right position. One, I think that is where they will help the team win, where they will help the Nigerian Super Eagles win. I think we'll enjoy the game better as opposed to this experiment you're doing. And one thing that scares me about Eric Chelle, people say this is friendly match. He also experimented like this in the playoff final. Onyeka, Ndidi, Iwobi, in a midfield that you want to create for you. He also did that and struggled. So that's what I'm feeling. Are we going to go to the game against Tunisia and you're going to mess around with the team? For me, I'm not afraid of Benitez Akinsimiro starting alongside maybe Tochukwu Nadi in midfield against Tunisia. I'm not afraid of it. If you play them rightly, I think they'll do well. That's how I feel personally. I get the thing about their age, being young, inexperienced. You know, there's an argument to be had. You can't sweep that under the rug. They are young, but who is ahead of them? That's another question you ask yourself. Do we have Busquets ahead of them? Do we have Kante ahead of Tochukwu Nadi? Do you have Fabregas ahead of uh, uh, um, Ebenezer Akinsimiro? So look at the quality in front of them. Experience is one thing, but does your quality match up the experience you have? That's the question we should ask, because sometimes we get lost in, oh, did he have experience? Experience doing what? Like doing what? Like how? What does as the kids would say, his experience for me is not experiencing. Well, but anyways, it's subjective. We all have rights to opinion, and super valid. Everyone has a right to opinion. So the United fan says an inexperienced Nadi and Akinsimiro are still far better than midfielders than Onyeka. Can't even pass 3 yards. There's a reason he doesn't even start for Brentford at his age. Talking to Jay. For me, it still remains play players in their rightful position. When you play them in their rightful position, then you can judge them. And I think Ebenezer Akinsimiro, what he's doing in the Serie A is no fluke. You play him rightfully, he's going to ball out for you. So Jay says they even had documentaries on him showing his youths, his tricks, how to apply them in games. A generation practiced day and night, played competitions to sharpen their skills. Fair play, fair play, fair play. I'm enjoying this battle of the comments going on. So it says, Jay says, at United fan, did you see that from Akinsimiro and other boys in the one game against Egypt? One thing I will say to people is this, Jay, I hope you're listening. I'll say this to everybody. Like, when you're watching football, when you're watching a game, watch it with purpose of enjoying the game, right? Because when you're watching the game with purpose of enjoying the game, you see what is interrupting your enjoyment. And also, when you see a player, like I've said this a number of times, but when you see a player you watch for his club in Europe, you watch where he plays, you see him playing as a right back, you say, oh, more this right back, good though. The right back with this boy, they play, oh, more this guy, good. It be like, say, we'll bring and come Nigeria company for Super Eagles. So, yeah, you see him playing right back. And then he's brought to Super Eagles. You see him playing right wing. You see him playing as a 10. Wouldn't you look and say, this is strange. This is something strange. And that is what Eric Chelle did yesterday. That's what he did yesterday. I struggle to see the midfielder we have in the team that you bring in and play out of position that will shine. I keep saying it. Just pick your world best midfielder, the best midfielder you have in your mind, the best one according to your own opinion. Play him out of position. Will he try? Will he play well? So Jay says Zaire Sanusi is our best option from this team. Wow. He's not better than, well, it's subjective, but Zaire Sanusi is our best option from this team. He is way better. No, he is not way better than Bruno Yimachi. He's not. He just isn't. It just isn't. Zaire Sanusi runs a lot. Okay, if we're using the Egypt game as a metric, what did he create? Even the qualifiers, what did he create? He ran a lot. He crossed the ball a lot. But those crosses, were they accurate? So I don't think that left back position you just hand it to Zaidu Sanusi, because I don't think he's that guy that is like dominating it. So well, so yeah, so it's obviously not because it was only one game, but I have seen Yeah, I think we're gonna have man of the match games against top teams like Atalanta. Onyeka can't relate because he's on the bench for Brentford. For me, Onyeka and Ebenezer Kinsimiro are different players. I think Onyeka gives you grit, he gives you tackle, he gives you energy. Ebenezer Kinsimiro will give you some of that, but like I said, he is a deep line playmaker. He will create and coordinate play from that deeper role in front of the back four. That is where you want to see Ebenezer Kinsimiro play, in my humble opinion. That is where he is built, designed to play. So that's why I said, Shehu, I see I'll bring you back on very soon, just a second. And then the United fan says Felix Agu is by far the best option. Is the best, yeah, he is. I used to think it was close, but when I look at how he combines, he can cross with either foot, either feet. I just say, but for whatever reason, they say injury is not here, so I have to make do with with the lot we have. So more going on in there. Oh my God, did you see Morocco's goal? Mm-hmm. Forbes ground is good start. Nandi showed glimpses. Yeah, he did show glimpses. He showed glimpses. So Shema will bring it back on. Back on. We'll wrap up soon. Okay.
My good, a good one. Look
Yeah.
at my players. I don't understand. I understand that player profile. For example,
Mm-hmm.
Akintunero said he play playmaker. In the mood of Pello, the guy from Barcelona, um,
Busquets, is it?
Frankie De Jong,
Frankie
Frankie
De
De
Jong.
Jong.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Why in the mood of Gattuso, just destroy the ball, move that way they do for. So with the modern football now, they are moving from the Gattuso era to Pello era. The playmaker, the must be able to contribute to the attack, make up play, and make attack to the attack movement. Just like Rodri, the middle is a DM, but he move the ball forward quickly and make the ball play with intelligence. Busquets kind of player, that was Akinwumi there. Wonder Shell does not understand what is obsessed with this formation he playing, and that's why he must find a to play in the midfield. So for me, against Egypt in nothing match. I give him a player to position just like educate player to position. In the play of second, the guy was player position. What's the name? Educate.
Okay.
Keo is the left winger. The left winger. The position better the left winger. Take it to the right. It's just wasting more. So for me, Shea needs to understand that play at the position they play football.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do. Look at this now. Now, in modern football, we have playing defender in Ugbo that can move ball like move Dynamic Frederick Ugbo and this guy from Spain that play for Madrid now. This team who plays for Bournemouth before. That is the play program.
Hussein. Is it
This
Hussein?
team,
Hussein, yeah, from Bournemouth. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And the guy too. And the guy too. What's his name? Ben Diaz. But look at just those two. But other type of defender, the type of company, who again, company Terry, they have led the scene. The defender you have now, it must be able to play, defender, must continue to attack. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what you do now. And Shea doesn't have that in his team. What you have, manage them and play with them in a simple way. Get the but we know that don't do nonsense with the team. So for me, like I said before, AFCON, I watch it as just a fan without no pressure. But when Nigeria is playing, I'm like Nigeria playing, I will live with Nigeria. That's normal. So the politician he always ask me, "Oh, go and watch you play for Congo." In time now they're not selling again. In time,
Hmm?
they don't do my first team
They want
on
to
squad. So
pay the penalty fee.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
is it €1 million? They want to pay the penalty.
that's not the quality. Yeah, man. So for me, Nigerian football, Nigerian football understand that this time player that profile and their different style of football. They have two DM, they have one center midfielder, we have attacking midfielder. And those players that in acting on the DM but can initiate attack, can control game, like Piolo and Michira can they just like Modric too. No when was aging, when he turned to DM,
Mhm.
just to
Look at
control the
Tony
midfield.
Cruz.
That would do.
Tony Cruz has
Yes,
zero athletic ability. He's zero athleticism.
but
He can't run.
yes,
But keep him
but
there. He will be there, see the entire field, and
vision.
control play from that position. You
That
know,
that 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 that, that, that that's what Mikel when he was playing for Nigeria. When
yeah.
he just control the ball, keep calm the ball down. Like for this team, who told that nobody do that? Nobody told you that. And
Nobody
secondly
knows that.
about the about Onyedika, Raphael. I think
Mm.
one that boy is a good player. But I don't know, you don't know how to play him. Play him in team midfield at the controller between midfield.
Yeah.
Get a proper DM for him. A flat four ticket formation, like two center midfield and one medium that can control the pace of midfield. Remember that back team Iniesta, Xavi who's again and Busquets.
Busquets.
They don't have 10 now. They don't have 10 that team. This guy Iniesta and Bus and Xavi they control the game for them, give them to attack and they score goal. That's how Oyeka can function very well in that team. Play alongside Casemiro and Ndidi. So in the shit at the middle of defense, Casemiro and Onyedika control the midfield and move to attack. They can drive ball very well. They can so that's it. So Nigerian fans understand that what are evolved now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's watch football with don't watch football with don't because they're playing with support Chelsea. Chelsea that they train every day. They train every day, they understand their football, they understand them well. So that Nigeria play today, they play another 2 months before they play. So
Mm-hmm.
that's different. That's
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria problem now. They believe that we are playing for Chelsea, can play for Nigeria. No, it's not working, it's not going that way. Other country, they play friendly every day. Nigeria play friendly every day. No,
Mm-hmm. That's
no.
it.
I don't want team blending. Can't blend now. Now
Mm-hmm.
look at Brazil now. Estavo is playing for Brazil now. He's playing for Brazil now. They play friendly every time. Estavo is there for them. They have Stabio before now. They have Anthony. But because Estavo is playing very nice, they'll keep him. Without form, they bench him too because they play friendly every day.
Mm-hmm.
When Nigeria play friendly, no. But that one to play friendly every day. We play friendly every day. But Nigeria don't play friendly. No. They rather go and they rather play friendly to friendly when they're playing playoff. That what they're doing. And imagine that kind of mistake. They're playing playoff, they're playing friendly that date. So what I'm not is that Nigerian boys understand that football is different now. Let's watch ball with sense, with passion and sense. Not like the fun alone. That we thank you very much.
Yeah.
See you later.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much, Shane, for coming up second time. Thank you so much. So Forbes Graham says, nah, they showed glimpses. For sure he did. It's a good start. Yeah, that was a good start in my opinion. I agree with you in that regard. Shola says, why do most of our midfielders pass and release the balls to strikers in their club but dribble in Super Eagles? Yeah, dribble. Did anybody really dribble yesterday? Yeah. I think one thing is, for me, what I've noticed in the midfield is we it's what the coach demands of you, for one. What the coach demands of you and how the coach plays you. One quick way for a coach to make players feel like he doesn't know what he's doing and they begin to do their own thing is when you are played out of position. If you're a right back, they play you as a goalkeeper. You look at oh, this coach, like, you don't know what you're talking about. So for me, first off, play players in their rightful position, and then we'll judge them from there. That's how I see it. And if there are players who are doing that, I think the coach should take them off. No need to. So it says in the era of Western, no player was indispensable. Wale, for sure, no player is indispensable. He came asked, of what do you think of Nadi? I think he had a decent cameo, not a fantastic one, a decent one, and something to build on. But I don't want him to fall into that Eric Chelle business, of being played out of position. He should play in his rightful position. I think he is more of a defensive midfielder that can go box to box. So if he's going to be played, I think he should be played in that way. He was decent, not fantastic. The same thing that I've said about Benitez against Miro, play him in his rightful position, and then we'll be happy with that one. So Promise says, what is the latest with the NFF petition? So according to some reports, NFF, they've submitted made the submission. Now let's see what FIFA would come back with. And the Congo fans are not happy about it. They are complaining, of course. If it was about Nigeria, we would also complain. So let's see how it happens. Let's see if Nigeria does have a case. Okay, so this is typical Nigerian fans. If you play Nadi against Miro in the same game, they fumble. Same people will come out and moan. You're pushing a Casemiro agenda on us like he's the most prolific midfielder. Well, people always say that thing about pushing agenda. I look at it and I ask you this question: when you watch Ndidi play, honestly, do you enjoy it? Do you enjoy Ndidi these past games? Ndidi Iwobi, do you enjoy it? Say someone is pushing agenda, That's a funny thing to say. But when you watch Ndidi, of course you can decide that what I'm saying doesn't matter. You can decide that what the person is saying in the chat comment isn't correct. But I'm sure your eyes can't deceive you. When you watch them play, these playoffs, the World Cup qualifiers, you watch Ndidi, you watch Iwobi. Did you enjoy them play? Yakin Samiro, you are dismissing. Did you watch him? Have you watched him play for Inter Milan age gauge side? Did you watch him? Have you watched him play for Palermo, Sampdoria? Did you watch him play for Pisa when he won? There's 2 Man of the Match award to the best of my knowledge. Did you watch him play? Do you understand his role? Do you understand his role? That he is a deep line playmaker, and in this game against Egypt, he was played out of position. Did you watch it? Now, the fact that someone says XYZ player should play doesn't mean if that player plays and plays badly, he should not be criticized. We have been seeing Ndidi and Iwobi, this experience thing, people like harping on it. Experience. That is, if we move out of football a bit, that is what has kept Nigeria where it is. You see a corrupt politician, you say, oh no, experience. Experience in what? Ndidi experience. Experience in how? What has the experience done? Help Nigeria achieve? It's easy to hold on to experience. What has the experience done for us? If we had Mikel in this position, then you say, okay, yeah, Akinsimiro, come off the bench. You have somebody you have to learn off of. You had a few, Games against Zimbabwe. I don't know whether we've chosen to forget these games. Like, we've chosen to forget them. We've missed out on World Cup. another competition has come in. Let's ignore what has happened in this competition. Let's embrace those same people that cost us a world qualification spot, and let's say experience. Indeed, it cost us that Zimbabwe game. Indeed, and Tusek cost us that game. We went to the playoff final. Indeed, and it will be cost Nigeria a spot in the Intercontinental Playoff final. But no experience. Let's have this experience in midfield. One thing I've noticed about some parts of some section of Nigerian fans, any new face is always criticized. If we're talking about dual national, oh, why not focus on homegrown grassroots players? Why not homegrown grassroots players? When we talk about homegrown grassroots players, oh, he's young. In fact, he plays well grassroots level. Doesn't mean he'll play. When we talk about players playing very well, playing very well in European clubs, no, the fact he plays for a European club doesn't mean he will play well for a national team. That is why we have Salim Fago in the team. Rather than having a Philip Otele who is playing in a better league, that is playing as a winger in better form, we ignore Rafi Durushimi who is playing at a better league on better form. We ignore him and we went for a Salim Fago. So all the things that it will be and indeed it cost us, we throw it away and say, experience, let's play them. Then if we end up losing, it will be, oh, why are we shocked? For me, this should be the time you begin to build your team, not for this AFCON, not for even maybe the slight chance of getting to World Cup, to the 2026 World Cup, if that even would happen, but to build your team for the future. So for me, that's it. When you watch football, forget who talked about the player. Watch the game. If you see the player, this player, what position does he play? I maintain this energy when I talk about any football, whether it's Premier League football and national team. I say this. Example, Malo Gusto, very good right back under Pochettino. Very good right back under Pochettino. What has happened under Maresca? Maresca has taken him and is playing him in midfield. And he's not as good as he was under Pochettino. But some people say, oh, play him there. No. So people start pushing agenda. I find that slightly condescending. It's almost like he doesn't watch football. He doesn't know anything about this player. He's just pushing the agenda. I am not Yoruba, for starters. So I don't have any relationship with Ebenezer Akinsimero. If he becomes a world-class player tomorrow, the only thing I can say is, oh, look at that Nigerian boy, superstar, mega star. He's playing for Real Madrid. So what for me is, if you're not playing well, that's what you get on this channel. If you're not good enough, I will say it. I don't care where you're from. You can be from my own father's house. If you're not playing very well, I will say you're not playing well. And Ndidi and Iwobi, no matter how you want to spin it, have not been good. They have cost Nigeria. I don't know the experience we want to make love to. I know the experience, we say, oh, experience. Experience in what? Experience in what? If it's just pure experience, why not go and get Mikel? Because, of course, Mikel has experience. He actually played in the last team that won the AFCON. So he has winning experience. So why not go get Mikel? Why not get Mikel? Why not get him in? He has experience. Experience in what? That's what I'd ask people. The people you're pushing, experience. What have their experience done? And you know what? The same people who go on to say, oh, this player is too young, would cheer Estavallo, an 18-year-old playing for Brazil, would cheer him, Estavallo playing for Brazil. But when it comes to a Nigerian player playing for Nigeria, we go experience, even when the person in front of him is not that good. That is what I always say. Who is the Zidane? Who is the Kante? Who is that top class performer ahead of these young players? Who is that top performer? Who is that top performer? That is the question I ask. Who is that top guy that is performing? This experience thing, I think we overflog it too much. We overflog this experience thing a bit too much, in my humble opinion. We overflog it. Oh well, thank God you two are not the manager as well. Thank you two are not the manager as well. Because we always do that. When someone debates with us, we go, oh, thank God you're not the manager. Thank God you two you're not the manager. We all will watch and see, But I think after we say all these things, our eyes will not deceive us. Sometimes I do feel okay. This Taiwo. Taiwo says sometimes I do feel like Eric Chelle doesn't invite the right players that will suit his supposed style of play. Um, Taiwo, I get what you're saying, right? I get what you're saying, Taiwo. For me, it's an odd feeling for me. It is an odd feeling for me because he invites all these players, and his most successful formation has been this 4-2-2-2 formation, and he ends up playing players out of position. He plays players out of position, and I ask myself, why? What are you going to achieve by playing players out of position? The same thing. That's why I keep saying I maintain this energy for every player. So when people come on here and say, "Oh, you're pushing agenda of this player, you're pushing agenda for that player," I just look at them and say, "What are you talking about?" Chukwueze, left winger, skillful. You're playing him as a second striker. Why? What are you going to benefit? He's not going to contribute well to the team, but you're playing him out of position. What will you gain by playing him out of position? You don't help the team. I can't judge. I can't judge the performance of Chidera Juke with him being played out of position. I can't judge it. I can't criticize him and say, "Oh, you who are meant to be a winger, you didn't play well as a support striker." How does that make sense to us? We have this, oh, the manager. I'm sure you must have been watching football. I've been watching football for decades right now. So I've seen lots and lots of managers. Lots and lots of managers. So when people come up here and say things like, "Oh, you have agenda for this player," this player. When you play players out of position, you can no longer judge them because you're playing them in a position they are not comfortable in. And I ask this: did we not all watch the World Cup qualifiers? Iwobi, Ndidi. Did we not all watch them in the midfield? Have we somehow developed some level of amnesia? Somehow we've chosen to forget how they cost Nigeria? That playoff final, have you forgotten about it so soon? You're championing them. That's fine. It's objective. It's subjective. Choose who you like. But this decision to like be condescending, you have agenda for this player. Really? Agenda though? Seriously? You have agenda for this player. Oh, that's why you're talking. That means you don't really look at the quality of the player. So Eric Chelle, I look at his formation. This is 4-2-2 formation. If you're playing a 4-2-2 formation, your midfielders cannot hide. They have to be energetic. They have to be able to go two ways. That is why I talked about Uche Santos. That is why I talked about Ebenezer Akinsimiro. That is why I talked about Rafael Onyedika. These are players that have tank. They can go both ways. They can go both ways. People are championing Iwobi and Ndidi that will expire, that get tired quickly in games. People are championing them. Well, if you enjoyed the World Cup qualifiers with those in midfield, if you enjoyed Iwobi midfield, no problem. I know what is good football, and Ndidi, and it will be, in my humble opinion, don't give Nigeria the best opportunity to play good football in that midfield. That's the way I say it. Eric Chelle, he keeps making things complicated for himself. Pick the formation you want to play. If 4-3-3 you want to play, pick it and play the 4-3-3. Pick the players that suit the formation. If you want to play 4-4-2, pick the players that suit your 4-4-2 and play it. Don't go 4-4-2 and then you're using a winger to play as a support striker, as a 10. Why? Like, what are you going to gain? You're not going to gain anything. So he sort of shoots himself in the foot. He shoots himself in the foot with the kind of thing he does. Really, really, irrespective of where they play. Okay, okay, that's what we are saying. That's what we are saying. Mikel played DM for Chelsea and Cam for Nigeria. He still balled at both. Really, irrespective of where they play. That is, I'm telling you, football is not drafts. It's not drafts. Irrespective of where they play, a good player will see glimpses of touches, passes, etc. I saw none against Mero. Your argument there is very flawed. So you mean to tell me if I play Haaland at right wing, he will ball. He will ball out at right wing. That's what you're saying. And if he doesn't ball out at right wing, he's not a good player. Victor Osimhen, let's play Victor Osimhen as a 10. He will play 10 there. He will create for you as 10. Okay. Good on you. 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 That's fine. That's fine. And you're Ndidi. So we can play Ndidi as 10, right? We can play him in that attacking position. Okay. Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. And then, so let's say Taiwo says again, in the game against Egypt, we don't even play to Onuachu's strength. He had to come deep in the midfield to fight for the ball. Another problem. You have a striker that big, that tall, that can basically dominate the ball in the air. We didn't see those crosses coming in. So football at its core is beautiful when it is simple. Let it be simple. Let it be simple. And it's amazing. Each time you talk about a player, people feel like you have something personal to gain from the player playing. I think I've answered this before, promise. I think Nigeria have made their complaints. It's left for FIFA to decide what they will decide. So Taiwo says instead of Bruno Yemachi, Emmanuel Michael should have been invited. The boy is young and good. Quite frankly, I wouldn't have minded seeing him in the team, at least in the squad, but one of the ones that was dropped off. So let's see whether after this, and that's the issue. Where are those friendly games that have been created, put into place, set, structure that after this AFCON we have this set of games where we used to develop players and all. Thanks everyone for your comments, your contributions. Let's keep going. DM for Chelsea, irrespective of where they play. I've seen it before. Egypt. Anyone can even think of playing any matches beyond me. He played like he's disabled. Well, yeah. Can anyone play matches beyond me? The guy plays like he's disabled. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think he plays like he's disabled. So can you bring me on? I was just saying this. I put up the QR code, so for some reason right now I can't put the link in the chat. So the chat is in the WhatsApp group. You can scan the QR code and join the group, so you can click the link to the call from there, and you can join from there. So I will bring this up again for anyone who wants to join. So don't have an opinion, want to join, so I'll bring it on, scan and join the call. I've done this before. We'll do it again. People say play Pello, put anybody out of position, they're gonna play well no matter what. Toni Kroos, one of the best passers on the ball in the world in world football. I never saw him play as a 10. Never saw him play as a 10. So this is the QR code for the group. You can scan it, and then the link to the call is in there, so you can go there and join from there. So if you click the link, the shop, and then I will bring you on here. So it's fine. We bring you on. Kubas is also excellent on the ball. Wait, what is that? That's dribble. Okay, who's on dribble? So the QR code is there. Sorry, I'm just seeing some of these charts late. So if you're still on, hope you scan the QR code and you're able to join. So to join this call, there's a WhatsApp group you can join. So you can scan the QR code from. You can click the link from the group, and it will bring you back here. We can all talk. So I've posted that QR code. If you want it, you can drop a chat, and then I would bring it up again. So, I just fancy dribble care. Who sabi dribble for Super Eagles midfield? That's it. We don't have the 10. We don't have that 10 that we're expecting to waltz and dribble through. And if you say 10 1 and you say, oh, why are you talking 10 1? Okay. So the United fans said left to J. Benjamin Frederick will be coming off the bench for Semi Ajayi due to inexperience. For me, I have no problem with experience. Look at Chelsea, for instance, right? Thiago Silva at Chelsea. 30 how many years old? He was balling. So you could see why the other person has to be on the bench. You can see why he has to be on the bench. So you don't have someone who has all these years of experience, but his experience isn't reflecting on the field of play, isn't reflecting on how he plays. The goal considered versus Congo, that was the height of an experienced player making of two experienced players making inexperienced moves. Iwobi could have played that ball out for a throw-in. He wanted to shoot the ball. He lost it. Rather than chase the man back or make runs into the 18-yard box for a cross, which his experience should have told him, he was busy jogging behind the Congolese player. The cross was put into the box. Indeed, the man with the experience that should have used his experience to know that in that 6-yard box, you don't want to let that ball settle. You clear it to row Z and let your team reset. He chose to control the ball. The ball went to the Congolese player. Whammo, thank you, ma'am. Scores, equalized, and the rest, as they say, is water under the bridge. Is history, and now Nigeria are hanging on the thread. The hopes of Nigeria going to the World Cup are hanging on administrative work that some Congolese person may or may not have done. So when we say experience, Yes, experience is good. There's a reason people retire. It's not because their experience stops. It's because they can no longer match their experience in their head. They can no longer match it physically. They have all the experience, but they can no longer match it. Their body can no longer match it. Yes, they have the experience. They can be excellent pundits. Come and talk about the game, but their body can no longer do it. So as I said, so I've the QR code, and after AFCON, it's high time we invite. So Taiwo says after AFCON, it's high time we invite new midfield like Onucho, Belu, Anthony Dennis, David Moses, Victor Eletu, Akinsi Nnadi, and even Daniel Daga. Yeah, for me, Daniel Daga is. I know that 20 people watch it and say, "Oh, Daniel Daga." No, I think if you play him rightly, use him as a shield, I think he will do well. Without Charles, I think he will do well. But those are who are not in this team. Anthony Dennis, let's see. Eletu is another guy that is a ball play, is a deep line playmaker, can play the ball, can help you control games. So David Moses, a versatile midfielder, I would like to see him in the future. Ebenezer Akinsimiro is in the team. Hopefully he gets to play, and hopefully he plays in his rightful position. That is what I hope and pray with this guy called Chelle. So I think it's the same thing. I agree with those names except David. Okay, United fans saying I agree with those names except David Moses and that guy. They are both clumsy on the ball. We have enough runners already. Do we have enough runners already? Do we? Because for one, indeed, he's not a runner, and this Afcon should be his last tournament for Nigeria. It will be. Is he a runner? No, he's not. He's not. He's not a runner. And this Afcon as well should be his last Afcon. So that's something to consider again. And after those two, who are the other people that can carry ball in midfield? For me, Uche Chris Santos, Ebenezer Akinsimiro, for sure these two, Uche Chris Ebenezer Akinsimiro, should be in the midfield that is being constructed. David Moses, we should have friendly games to see what he brings. So the whole team needs an overhaul. Every part of this team, left back, Zaidu Sanusi, this should be his last tournament. Bruno Yemachi, I think as well, this should be his last tournament, except maybe World Cup comes around. But from where we stand now, this should be the last tournament for Bruno Yemachi and Zaidu Sanusi. Felix Agu will take up the mantle, and let's look at maybe Ryan Meguma to have those left back spots. Have those two players, in there. So I'll bring this up again. For people that want to join the call, I'll bring them up again here. That bring it up again here. That's what we're talking about. I have no problem with experience, brothers. I have no problem. If you're experienced, let your experience shine through. But we've seen these players. We are all upset we missed out on World Cup. How did we miss out on the World Cup? Did we just miss out? Like, just missed out? Have we looked at the games? Who was at fault? Who did what? And consistently. Someone can always make a mistake. It's human. No one is a robot. No one is an AI. We all make errors, right? Even AI will make errors, but consistently making those errors, consistently expiring, getting tired, getting exhausted in games, allowing teams to come onto the team. Look at how the midfield created for Osimhen. Basically wasting Osimhen. Yes, he scored hat-trick in the Republic game, but he's being wasted. Hoofball. Now, that is partly a problem of quality and a problem with Eric Chelle's tactics. Because the long ball he plays, we don't have people that go after the second ball. Because if you're playing long ball to a big striker, your hope is the big striker can hold the ball on his chest, play and hold up the ball, play it onto an on-rushing midfielder, flick it onto a winger, and then make the secondary runs into the box. But each time those balls come in, we don't see any midfielder coming close. We don't see any winger coming close to the striker to get those second balls. So in that regard, that's a huge problem. So this is the QR code for the WhatsApp group. You can scan it. The link to the call is there. I'll give us at least 10 minutes. You can go click it and join as well. United fan, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your kind words. He said the best channel on YouTube for updates on emerging Nigerian talents. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We've been doing that, and I'll soon be bringing back the reaction videos to the channel, reacting to new and emerging talents that of Nigerian heritage. And just to say as well, there is this player, I've talked about him. Don't worry, his reaction video will be coming up on this channel. Is Oba Prosper, signed for Ukrainian Giants, Shakhtar Donetsk. So let's see how he's going to do. He was playing for the league leaders in the Ukrainian league. That's Chasky LNZ. He scored a goal. I think he came up with an assist in the game where Chasky beats Shakhtar Donetsk 4-1, and now they've done what Bayern does in the German league, which is if you're a team threatening the position of Bayern, they go sign either your coach or your best player, and then your whole challenge drops off. So let's see what Oba Prosper can do there. Hopefully, he gets to play in Champions League and Europa League. Let's see what he does. Shola will go down. It's another one. Let's see what they all do. So that's it. So so if you want to join the WhatsApp group and join the call, you can scan the QR code, and then the link is in the WhatsApp group. You can click on it, and that will allow you and join it. And then you can grant permission to your camera and your video so we can see you and hear you, on here. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much. So for those who want, if you want the QR code, I'll bring it back up. But for now, I'll take it off here. I'll give you a few minutes for those who want to join the call as well. And just to say, we'll bring in, having a discussion about Premier League football on here on this channel. So Nigerian football fans, you love your Chelsea, love your Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal. On here, we'll be having match day reactions to games, post and pre and post game match reviews and reactions. So if you want to be part of that, you let me know as well, and then we'll get you sorted so we can have those discussions. And of course, we'll also bring you updates on here of players of Nigerian heritage, what they're doing in your Premier League, like your Chukwuezes and your Calvin Bassey. And Chukwueze has been on fine form for Fulham. Hopefully he takes it to the AFCON and also brings it back to Fulham. And that's why I said there's some things that Eric Chelle should stop and there's some things he should learn, which is Chukwueze is balling out as a left wing, as an orthodox left winger. Maybe you consider it for an in-game tweak. You start with your usual inverted wingers, and then in-game you can tweak it and have them play on either flank, and Ademola Lookman play on the right and Chukwueze play on the left, so they can whip those balls in the box. Since you have two players that are very good in the air, in your Paul Onuachu and your Victor Osimhen, you want balls to come into the box that they can actually take advantage of. So, and also we'll be having pre and post match reaction to, of course, all the Super Eagles games in the AFCON. Hopefully Nigeria gets to the final and wins everything. So if you want to be part of that as well, let me know. So we'll have that discussion. It's nice to have that back and forth. Don't get me wrong, I'm one that likes a debate. I'm one that likes a nice, respectful discussion. And I think all the discussions here have been, I'll say 99% have been respectful, apart from a slight 1% that has been, but so I'm open. Have debates. I don't run away from any debate, from any discussion. I would like to have that debate. If you feel your points, your facts can stand up to my points. My facts, let's do it right here on this channel. So I'm giving the QR code. You want to scan it, and join the call. You can also join the group to join other calls on the channel. So big thank you to everyone who's been on here, who's contributed, has liked this video. It's 9 likes now. We're seeing 27 watching. Can we get maybe 15 likes, 20 likes? That'll be fine. At least to tell YouTube that you are loving the channel, and you can also share it as well. It really mean a lot to me and the channel as it continues to grow. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Really thank you. And at this point, it feels like no one is coming on, and that's fine. So I'll see you on another video. Stay well, stay blessed. Bye-bye.